Hello and welcome to the DaBearsBeat film room. This is Lorin Cox along with Phil Atoshin, and we're here to break down the first preseason game between the Bears and the Dolphins. We're going to take you through quite a few plays here, give you a good idea on how the first team defense did, a little bit of how the offense executed, and then kind of go into some of the more interesting battles with the backups and see how some of those players did. So, uh, what we're going to do now is start off actually with the opening kickoff and give you a good idea of just how a player who's trying to make an impact on special teams really does that well from the get-go. And he's a player we've talked about quite a bit, Phil, in Cornelius Washington.
Yeah, this is a key element, obviously, overlooked most times, but when there's a match that's even going into these final weeks, guys like this and plays like this are echoing through the coaching staff's mind. So we're going to take an isolated look at Cornelius Washington here on the opening kickoff. And yeah, Lorin, this is our first film session, and this is how it really gets done, and this is how you recognize talent. There's no guess. Tape doesn't lie, and we're going to take all of you that really have given us the positive feedback and bring you into what we do and where we come with our opinions each week on guys.
So on this play, Cornelius Washington is lined up in what I've got boxed here in what would be the R5 position, which is the innermost one next to the kicker. When you're looking to even just at this pre-snap, you can see a couple of names out there. You've got Demontre Hurst here on the outside. You've got Alois Jean there. I can't tell whose that is. Josh Bellamy, Sherrick McManus, and then you can't really see who's on the other side. But like I said, we're going to focus on Cornelius Washington here. And unfortunately, the preseason does not give us all 22 film, which is extremely disappointing. And I feel like probably by next year we'll have preseason all 22, but we'll see what happens with that. So you'll kind of lose track of Cornelius on the play, but then I'll stop it when he comes back on the screen, and you'll see the way he's able to sort of blow up a few blocks and make a play.
And this is all about effort here as we drive down the field. When that ball's kicked, the mindset is to get down the field as quick as you possibly can. And coaches can recognize those first 20 yards of who's hustling, and that stands out. You can see him on tape.
So right here, and man, this is a little laggy to start. Hopefully that cleans up a little bit. Right here, Cornelius comes onto the frame. Oops.
There he is.
Still learning these tools a little bit here. He's right there.
Now also give a circle on Alois Jean. You see him here.
Contain.
Right, he's in contain, but behind him, and this must be coached up, is, yes, Demontre Hurst. He's absolutely playing a pyramid safety here. So now he's looking at if this runner's going to bounce and somehow they block, which they can create a crease right there by blocking out Alois Jean, you got a triangle here. And Demontre Hurst is your cleanup guy. There you go.
So the running back, when he gets to about here, he's going to have kind of an option to go around these two blocks. And I think he's going to read, or the running back, when I say the kick returner, that's not the kick returner, that's the blocker. But the kick returner, he's going to read Hurst back here with this lane. And Cornelius Washington isn't going to really let him have an opportunity because he's going to blow through this guy. And then he's going to blow through this guy and make a play. You've got Cornelius Washington, makes the impact here, comes up, here's the blocker. He's going to get taken out here as he comes right across, and he's just going to nail him right into the kick returner. And there you go. Down they both go. Cornelius Washington stands up top and celebrates going off the field.
And that's just great all-around effort, especially from a 285-pound defensive lineman running down the field. I don't think that should go unnoticed. I'm sure the coach is obviously. So he's driving through his man, who ends up going backwards into the up man, who's supposed to be the lead block, and he literally knocks it to the running back, who falls down immediately.
Here it is in slow motion. You're going to see Cornelius, first man, pushes him, stays on him, but then second man pushes him, and then this first man is who goes into the running back.
There it
And then
is.
he just easy touch, tackled at the 15, short of the touchback. Really nice play by Cornelius Washington. All right, moving on to the first team defense. Go to the second play of the drive. Timestamp's 14:26 in the first quarter. This is going to be the first Shea McClellan test of at least in coverage. He gets tested a little bit on the first running play, but here we're going to have man coverage across the board with Fuller's going to be on the outside receiver here, Jennings on the outside receiver here, and then linebacker lined up on each of the slot receivers. Safeties go in deep halves, and then outside linebackers are going to blitz here and here. Lots of lines on the screens now. But then we got to keep an eye on Mr. Jeremiah Ratliff here in the middle, because he is going to pick up the running back out of the backfield here. He's going to start off as a pass rush, but then he's going to get his hands on him and follow him deep. But obviously the matchup we're watching here is going to be Shea McClellan here.
But it's a good point on Ratliff, because this is your first invitation into the Vic Fangio and what we talked about all offseason, Lorin, scheme. They obviously are trying certain things to see what they're capable of doing. So Ratliff, if we run through Ratliff first, you see he locks out on the center, Pouncey, and his eyes are clearly on the running back. If it's a run play, then obviously he's going to be there and take him down. But if it's a pass play, he's going to actually become a linebacker and play him man to man. You could see it.
You can see right there, he's
There
looking only at the running back.
He's pressed. He's going to thrust his arms out to create separation from the center so he doesn't get held. Watch. See how he shoves him back? Now his focus is clearly on the running back. I think it's Miller.
I think it's Miller. Then he's going to make the contact with him to slow him up out of his release. Right there. And you can see already the way the inside receivers and outside receivers are all breaking outside. And you've got Ratliff is sort of the man in the middle to hold on to the check down. But you can already see that the slot receiver on this side has a step on Shea McClellan. There's a little bit of space there, and that's where we're going to see the completion. But I think when we get there, I wanted to get your opinion on this too. I didn't think it was that terrible of a play in coverage by Shea McClellan. I think he did the right thing for the most part. He just went after the ball rather than trying to just wrap up the receiver right away. I think he was trying to force the incompletion rather than taking the completion and a quick wrap up.
You can see that he's on his back foot heel, and he's going to stress and press to get out there. So he's in pretty good position right now to make a play on this. And you can see the quarterback, Lorin, is obviously eyeballing. It's a two-man read here. The outside receiver is going to break to the out, and then the slot is going to break underneath it. So he's going to read which one he's going to be able to throw to.
Well, and
He's got a good pop.
And Shea's got his eyes right on the quarterback.
Yeah.
But I think the other thing that gets lost here is that, like you said, it's a two-man read. He's just looking left this whole time. But if he looks right, I mean, he's got
Christian Jones is lost.
Yeah, Christian Jones. I mean, he's heading the wrong direction. He's not even going to follow this receiver at this point. I mean, at least not right away. He's going to totally give up huge separation here. But because it's the only read is to the left, it's a quick throw to try and get Tannehill into some rhythm. He makes the throw and it's a completion. But he had a better option on the other side.
Well, the other thing I gotta ask is if Jones peeking into the quarterback is making him come off his coverage so quickly. So just run it live through.
Yeah, this is a slow motion, so you can kind of see the way Shea steps laterally, meets the receiver, and then breaks on him right away. He reads that cut, and then he goes around front to try and get the pass deflection, and it ends up kind of getting shaken off him because he goes all out after the ball rather than waiting to wrap up the receiver. And this is where I wanted to get your opinion on is if you're coaching him up, are you telling him to go after that ball, or are you kind of telling him to stay on the receiver's hip and just wrap him up after he makes the catch?
Well, because you got two men over the top, they're backed off. I would say that was a good effort on his part because a turnover there could swing the whole momentum in games. You get turnovers in the red zone and score points. So I'm not going to kill him on that. I thought he made a good effort. He made a good play. I'm going to say, you know what, make the play next time. You want to challenge him, but not going to kill him for that effort.
And I do believe we get a replay here on a close-up to Shea McClellan's coverage here, so it'll give you a better idea of sort of what he was looking at. Here, we'll slow it down, take you back, kind of step by step. You'll see from this view, Tannehill only looks left. You got Shea's eyes right on the quarterback. Steps laterally with the slot receiver. Receiver makes his cut. Tannehill looks, stays on him. He gets Ego to jump on that pump fake, but then Shea goes across the receiver to try and get a hand on it. He's inches away. But
Now, Shea reached around with his inside hand. He intercepts that ball. That's the one coaching decision. So if he's going to go and do what he did, then he's got to grab Jersey with his right hand. So if he's coming across with his left, he's got to grab Jersey with his right hand, and then he brings him down. Or if he's really going for the interception, he swims over and gets both hands around, and he can steal that ball, especially when he had that reaction to it.
and I think he's obviously just trying to get a finger on it rather than intercept it. But I agree that he either has to kind of get away with a little bit of something when you grab him onto the jersey. I don't know if that's technically legal, but I mean all of the great coverage linebackers and corners do that.
Oh,
Or he's got to get both hands in there. He's like
right.
right
So
there. He's got to grab with that hand.
see how he's got his hand on his arm?
It's got to be on the jersey, or it's got to get in front.
Right. You leave it there then. If you're going to reach with that left hand to swipe at the ball, now you're grabbing Jersey to make sure if you miss, you bring him down. That's the only thing he did. So if you're going to steal, bring that other arm through, and he tries to, you see? Instead, he grabs his arm. Go with both hands and go for the football.
Well, he
He
starts
goes
to
to
grab his arm, and then he kind of like lets the receiver get his arms up so he doesn't get a pass interference.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's tough.
Dime or dozen, I would make sure my linebacker see how his right hand there, grab on, bring him down. Obviously, not grabbing inside the shoulder pads, you're going to get a call. But overall, I'm not going to give a negative grade to McClellan on that. He did a lot of things I haven't seen a linebacker do since Urlacher in that.
I agree. Unless there was anything else you wanted on that play, I think we can move on to the next one. For those playing along at home, 13:07 in the first quarter. This is a nice Ryan Tannehill deep pass to Greg Jennings on Kyle Fuller. And when you look at the pre-snap alignment here from the Bears, the first thing that stands out to me is the way the outside linebackers are in the slot over the slot receivers. Both of them, Jared Allen and Pernell McPhee, are both aligned out wide, leaving only the three-men line. And you can kind of tell that they're either going to blitz from a wide position or that they're dropping back in coverage right away. So it gives Tannehill knows he has a little bit more time to throw, and he can kind of go through his progressions right away. The Bears are going to drop back in cover 3 here, and so again, for those playing along at home, that would mean that corner's going to go deep here. Tim Jennings, he's going to go off the screen here, but he's going to go deep here. Vereen's going to go deep middle, and then Roll is going to drop down. And what's going to happen is he's going to hit Jennings on a post route here, which is going to be following my poorly drawn path right about there. And he's going to catch him right in the perfect area between most of the defenders. He's going to be like right around here. So Vereen's going to be too deep. Christian Jones is going to be too shallow. Kyle Fuller's going to be too out wide. And then Shea McClellan here, he's it's not really in his zone necessarily. So he kind of gets caught all in the perfect area between the three defenders with Jones, Fuller, and Vereen, and you'll kind of see that it's hard to appropriate the blame to just one player in this because it's not only a good spot for a route to be run, as you see a break inside here, but it's hard for me to blame one guy over another because like right here, I mean obviously he's pretty open and it looks like on first read that it's Kyle Fuller. Oh man, Kyle Fuller should have been on him, but really Kyle Fuller's responsibility is more back here, and then you've got Roll was right here, McClellan was right here, and Jones was supposed to be kind of right here. But then the thing that stands out to me right away on this play is that watch Vereen come in from the right of the screen. It seems to me like he was a lot deeper than he needed to be. I mean, obviously, as the middle guy in the covered three, you kind of want to be the back end safety because you're the only really quote unquote deep safety. But it seemed to me like he should have come down a little more, and Christian Jones should have been a little bit deeper in his zone. What do you think?
Well, let's talk about one thing first. This right here is a quarterback's dream scenario because cover three is run on every level of football, and it's pitch and catch. Jared Allen is dropping into his zone. You got seam. This running back shouldn't be taking up two men in coverage. So what is that telling me?
Christian,
Christian Jones didn't get deep enough in his drop to take away that inside skinny post. Because if you're only rushing three, he's got to get deep. Jared Allen has coverage in the flat. So what is your purpose there? His head should be back on a swivel, get deep, look at his 1 to 2. His 2 would be the tight end that you're circling. His 1 is the outside guy, and he's not there. Because Shea McClellan's responsibility is that running back in front of him. So look at how Jones stops his feet,
watches the ball.
watches the ball, doesn't jump. And this is simple pitch and catch. Cover three. What I started to say is let's remember that this is the first preseason game. So we're just getting small steps out on tape so we can coach up and do this. Jones, you got to be deeper. Fuller, you got to be understanding. You're deeper than the deepest, but if your 1 is threatening to the post, then you got to come off that deep because there's no one threatening your zone. So watch how Fuller, we'll watch Fuller here.
The slow motion's extra slow. It feels extra slow when it's before the snap because it's like, man.
Yeah, I know. So Fuller hops. He's in his back pedal.
Right there, he should see the slot receiver breaks out, so he's got no one besides the guy he's
got
covering.
no one else threatening him. Now, if that tight end goes out and up and he stayed with the thing, then he's got to come off and make the play. But that's his responsibility. And he allows too much space. See how his hips are turned?
Yeah,
now he's going. He should be thrusting up closer to him because no one else is threatening.
Well,
so two players really just were lax in that, and that was Jones and Fuller.
Do you think Vereen was too deep? I mean, obviously his responsibility is to be very deep, but it seemed like, without all 22, you can't tell when he starts his break to come back down to the receivers. But it seemed like he had a lot of ground to cover, and I don't know if that was necessarily more ground than he needed to.
When you're the safety in cover three, he's got to be deeper than the deepest. This outside receiver at the bottom is running a fade. He could have been, because we don't see the all 22, he could have been on the other side of the hash over here.
That's true.
That's why he's coming so late. But if we had the all 22, I would tell you right away if he was too deep.
And I think
which was a constant with Conti and Wright in the past.
Well, and I think the two outside receivers and obviously the inside receivers are running mirror routes to each other. So it wasn't like because this near player here is the other outside receiver, so he was running the same route. So Vereen didn't have. I mean, he was smart to play the deep center pretty far because both players were going to be coming center at him, but he might have been a step or two deeper than maybe he should have, but certainly nothing egregious enough. Like you said, I think that's on Christian Jones 1 and then Kyle Fuller 2, but I mean, can you appropriate blame to one of them more than the other, or would you give that about equal share, or would you even go Kyle Fuller?
Uh, you know what? I would call that an equal share because if Christian got deeper, the throw would have been more difficult and allowing Fuller to break on it a little bit better if he threw it at all. So the initial blame goes to Jones for not getting deep, but Fuller has to do his job. So if it was going to be blame, it would be 60-40.
I agree with that. I think we get a little replay here on just how
See how he's standing there? There's no sense of him.
he's coming to the running back when that's clearly Shea
Yeah.
McClellan's.
Wellen clearly has responsibility covered and there, and hopefully if that's probably where he would have went had this not opened up. I mean, that's like a basic throw. My son could make that throw right there. It's so open. It's at least 4 or 5 yards wide open in a zone.
Well, and your son's 2 years old, and he could probably make that throw. No, not even two. How old are they now? They're like
18 months.
18 months, and they could make that throw. Unbelievable. Future quarterbacks right there. Oh, we even get one more. You can see Jones right there. Plants that foot, and I think right at that point, as soon as he plants and sees that ball going over his head, he knows, oh, shoot.
He's actually lost because he actually thinks the way he's planting, he's going to the running back. That's crazy. Well, we all documented that Jones didn't have the greatest of game, but let's be reminded before we get on Jones and we're getting on. I know a lot of people are talking bad about Vereen. He's not ready, this, that, and the other. Amos is taking first team snaps. We said this all offseason. Guys are going to learn. They're learning a new system, getting it on tape. They got to step up to the competition here, and Vereen needs to lose that white T-shirt, Lorin, in August. It's like 98 degrees. He's wearing a long sleeve white.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a style thing or a comfort thing. 'Cause I remember him wearing long sleeve like in the winter during the season last year. But
Brock, listen to us. Lose this T-shirt for the next game.
yeah, he doesn't wear them at practice, that's for sure. All right, next play is kind of the more infamous play from the first drive. It's the big outside run by Miller.
So now this is a design counter. It's a power counter cutback. So they're blocking down this tight end wingback's coming backside, and he's taking on McPhee. Look at McPhee. What did he do wrong? So this is part McPhee's fault. The first thing he did was go downfield inside. So you just made yourself an easy target to be blocked so the running back can go outside of you. It's actually, Lorin, looking at it, is McPhee's fault because guess who's filling the lane in the alley? It's Roll. That's right. McPhee, watch how McPhee comes down. This guy's going to get scooped. He bounces. It's an easy 1-2. They're both in there.
But see, to me, I think the safety is the one. I think McPhee assumes that, and he perhaps wrongly assumes, but he assumes that it's Roll who's going to be outside and contained just because at the
Go back again.
yeah.
Watch the beginning. If tight end blocks down, he's in his ass. He's got to be.
Yeah,
He has McPhee.
Yeah, he's got to just go.
He's got to go inside. Yeah, right there.
I
He can
agree.
even stay square. He could stay square to the line, but he's got to be up there. Watch what he does.
But see,
He goes inside. Now they're both in the same place.
But see, to me, I would think that it should be McPhee's responsibility to fill here because the linebacker is going to fill the next gap here and the next gap here, and because the safety is a good 6 yards behind him, it should be Antrell Roll's responsibility to contain.
I'm telling you, watch the design play, and I've run this play before. See how it makes it look like it's power left, but it's really a design cutback. That's why the tight end, that H-back, they're both in the same spot. McPhee should have went straight down off his ass, and this play shut down in the backfield.
See, I agree, but I still feel like Roll is the one that should be more responsible for contain. I mean, he just because he's I mean I don't know, and it's hard to know without being in the coaching room to
Give,
know who
give you a play of that from the back.
because they're lined up about parallel, I suppose. But yeah, here I'll go back a little more.
No, it's definitely designed that McPhee is the outside container. So McPhee going inside causes this play. Watch Roll's first step. He's got running back. Watch. See it? Inside. McPhee is dancing out here, looking. He has to react. He's got to take on that H-back at the point to force that play to be collapsed. And then everybody cleans up. What is Shea McClellan doing? That's what I want to know. Let's watch him for a
He
second.
loses the running back completely. Both he and Jones just keep going right.
So now they're over there because this is a definite design to come this way.
I agree.
So let me tell you, through my coaching years, looking at that formation, the designation of what it is, when he down blocked, McPhee has to come crashing down solid with shoulders square and get ready to take on that pulling H-back that comes backside.
But then let me ask you this: if he crashes down, right?
Yep.
Then what if
Yep.
the so he crashes down? Let me draw this on here. He crashes down
So
this way,
then Roll would come up and be the force player.
and then
Because Roll's first step is this way, he's seeing power Roll. He has the running back, no doubt. So he's seeing power left. That's the whole design of this play. Okay? This is a trick play to counter backside. That's why that guy's pulling this way.
yeah.
So then if McPhee came in and hit the H-back, Roll would then come outside and clean up. That would be that play would be shut down.
I agree. Yeah, you're right. But then on the second end, do you think Vereen takes a poor angle here?
Absolutely. Vereen should have been up here about the 46-yard line. Let's watch Vereen for this whole play, because this opens up the safety of the play.
Damn it. One of these days I'll figure out the exact controls there.
And actually, there is no Jones in on this play. It's actually
Hurst.
DeMontre Hurst. So Hurst is reading power over there as well. Now he has that H-back man-to-man.
See, right now Vereen should be on a path, probably around his initial path is gonna be here, but I don't think he like we'll see he doesn't.
Yeah, the
He
whole
doesn't
sideline yelling, "Run!" No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
So he should know that this is a running play. Vereen should be on the screen by now.
Yeah, and he should be right now. The direction he should be heading should be this way, but as we're gonna see, he's still coming this way.
Yeah. He should be coming to Phil. I mean, they got you on this play. It's a great coaching point for McPhee. And you see Jennings. The fact that Vereen is now in a back pedal means that he completely got fooled by the power fake. He thought it was a power play left.
And then he actually has to run downfield and back the way he
Well,
he
he
definitely
doesn't-
allowed a few more yards than he needed to.
Could have been up there and made the play in the alley, but he actually shows good effort to get him out on the ground and get him out of bounds.
And I think we get a replay here. That might be, and I apologize. We still can't really get it very cleanly at full speed. This is a little better.
This is our first
Yeah.
trip along this. Oh, this is going to be perfect. Look at where McPhee's head is. He doesn't even see this guy getting ready to block him.
And he's only watching forward.
He's only watching forward, and he lost his responsibility. That's the issue with this play. Now, if he had gone up there, look what would have happened to the hole. Lamar would have had to bounce outside here, and Roll would have just cleaned that up. But now they're both in the same spot. He gets his legs nicked,
Best we get.
and that's it.
Now, do you think going back here? I mean, obviously Tim Jennings, I mean, his only job is to try and keep Miller from the sidelines. I mean, you can't really expect him to necessarily get around that block and make a
Jennings
play.
gets. I mean, Jennings got held to begin with by the outside and gets fooled to go back inside.
But
He
so,
goes outside.
because I mean, he does the right. Because if right here he makes a play, makes a break, and tries to go this way
Outside.
inside, do you think Miller gets more yards
If he goes outside, he scores probably.
if Jennings goes outside here? Because Jennings or if Miller goes outside,
If Miller goes outside,
he
see how
scores.
Jennings is protecting the
Yeah,
outside.
exactly.
He should have done that. Now you have all that help inside.
And
So
If Vereen takes the right angle, he stops him short of the first down
right
because of
there.
the contain.
Should be right about there, tackled.
Moving on to the next play here.
Let's go to the next one.
Let's see,
It's
12.
good stuff, though.
This one is just this is another play that I think showcases a little bit of the new Shea McClellan. Yeah,
But
it's an inside zone run,
yeah,
and his
it's a
first.
fake screen to the top. So watch the outside receiver. He's gonna run, jump back to hold your linebacker. But Shea actually did a pretty good job there.
Yeah, he sheds a block. And I'll put it in slow motion here. You can see the running back. His first read here is gonna be Eddie Goldman here, double teamed. Is that correct, Phil?
Yeah.
His first read is here. His second read is here.
Yes. Now, if I'm that running back, I'm bouncing to the outside right after I get to the 30.
But see,
See how this tight end here, and they do an excellent job here blocking this because they got everybody moving to the left, and the running back actually took too long to go to the left to bounce.
I agree because the left tackle starts to lose his block and he ends up getting called for a hold here, and
Yeah.
that's what takes this play back. Or is that the tight end? I
Now he does hold Ratliff. I think it's Ratliff.
No, it's Eddie Gold or Ego Ferguson.
Oh, it's Ferguson
Yeah,
there.
there's gonna be
Yep.
the hold right here,
Yep.
and so Jared Allen out here. Dang it, I always go to the wrong one. He's gonna. I mean, his initial look. And this confused me too because he's got his eyes on the court. I mean, he's looking right here. He should see this, but instead what he does is he just follows the screen here. I mean, and good on him to try and read it as play action and break on the screen, but I think that ends up helping Miller get a few more yards because if instead Allen just comes in straight here to try and blow up this play, then I don't think he gains a lot of yards, but he takes a few steps out, and then he has to try and recover here, and then like we mentioned, we've got Ferguson being held here, so it's kind of up to Shea now to get through this block and make a play, which he does, just not that far upfield.
Well, Allen's coming. He's hustling. You can
Yeah,
see him coming down. Reads it.
and I paused it a little too late to show the point I was trying to make with Allen, but the first at the snap he takes 2 or 3 steps outside. Let's see if we can slow it down here.
So
He's already lined up over the slot, which makes it difficult enough for him, but he's still stepping out, looks at the receiver here, looks at the receiver, then looks back. So at that point, the handoff's already made, and he's got a lot of ground to cover up. And
yeah.
it's not a lot of time that's lost, but it's enough that makes it easy for Miller to bounce outside. Then you get the hold by the left tackle on Ferguson, but then Shea here does a good job getting around the tight end, getting low, and then just absorbing the running back.
Yep.
If you're all good on that one, then we can move on to the next play here, number 1035. This one's going to be a poor play by Kyle Fuller in man coverage. safeties are going to go deep, and everyone's going to be in man underneath. And
Lorin, this is 3rd and 7 here. They're driving on the opening drive, so
and
it's a big play. You stop them here, you force a field goal.
and the interesting thing here, and I noticed this quite a bit in this game, is that they would have Fuller up in press a lot and Jennings back. And I mean, obviously, with Jennings' size, maybe he is a little bit better suited in off coverage. But more often than not in this game, when the two of them are on the field, especially in third downs, it's Fuller up on the line and Jennings back. But what's going to happen here is the outside receiver, I think it's Greg Jennings, but I don't know for sure. He's going to run a curl route, and Kyle Fuller's going to initially set up outside of him, and then when Jennings turns inside for the curl, Fuller's actually going to try and go over him from the inside, which really is not the right decision. And I mean, the receiver has separation as it is, but then the moves that Fuller makes kind of makes it worse and allows the completion to be a lot easier. See it here in slow motion.
Definitely all man.
Yeah, back pedal, sets up outside. Then he reads the curl right away. I mean, he's right there. He's in his hip, but he's going to continue to go around, try and go around to the front of the receiver to try and make a play on the ball, kind of like McClellan did, and it just ends up hurting him because he's trying and the quarterback does throw it a little bit back shoulder because he reads him going around, but now he's still going to try and go this way around, and it's the longer path to the ball. See how he initially started set up outside, but then when the play is made, he ends up to the outside of the receiver, or to the inside of the receiver, excuse me, just
It's
because
almost
he
like
came
he
around on the curl.
stops. It's almost like he stops, and it's Matthews, that receiver,
Yeah.
bigger guy.
Here it is, the one-on-one matchup here,
But watch how he's in great position to make the play.
and he just doesn't.
Sad part about it, he just stops.
Reads the move just well,
It's very
steps in
good.
step with him, makes the cut with him. He's
Got
right there,
hands on him. He's got hands on him.
but then he's gonna keep going around the front of him, and I was confused as to why does he keep coming around? Because here,
Well, he just stopped there. See it? He
like,
got
what is he?
carried into the thing. His momentum just carried him over, and he shouldn't have.
I mean, that's a mistake you can't make as a starting cornerback in the NFL.
Especially on 3rd down at 7. You know he's roasting up, gonna try to get a first down. You're in his hip pocket. Keep your feet in balance. You have your hands on him. He just kept skating off. He let the momentum of his push pushed him right off. If you're watching full speed, he's got great position. Look, he didn't fake. He didn't open up. He's turned his hips. He's got his hand extended. He's stopping. His eyes are on the football.
This is perfect up to this point, absolute perfect coverage. But then here, he just keeps going,
All he
going.
has to do is jump through and get that hand. His body carried him over. He hops.
He has to plant both feet and hop. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he makes the tackle, I believe,
Yeah, he does.
but not until after the first down, and can't have that.
That right there is a learning experience. I mean, if you bring it back,
Yeah.
look at another thing. They could have been called here because they had a pick route at the bottom where the slot receiver runs a shallow cross and literally blocks Shea McClellan because the running back in the backfield is going to slip out and come into the flat, and he'll be wide open if he turned and went. You're going to see that. You're going to see him come. Yep. No, this way.
Oh, the other way?
He's
Sorry.
going to come to this side.
Yeah, good call. And yeah, he's going to get blam.
Now watch. I think that's Greg Jennings in the slot too. Look at Hurst is very tight on him. Got great coverage. See how they hit Shea McClellan. McClellan actually keeps his feet.
And it seems to me that Tannehill's kind of looking the whole way for this curl. I mean, he reads. I mean, he takes a minute, takes a second, reads man, and then knows that curl is his look. Looks the safety over the middle, then sees the man, throws it, and it was well covered. Like when he makes the decision to throw that, I don't know if that's the best decision for him, but then the separation is created and Fuller gets beat.
Now, these guys are going to learn from this. This is going to be instructive. This is definitely one of the plays that Donatel and Fangio have up on the board, and they're going over it with Fuller. Because you're right there, kid. You're right there to make a big play, and you don't.
This next one is, we highlighted a pretty poor play by Christian Jones earlier, but this one's a nice little sniff out by him. It's going to be another inside zone run. Again, running back's first read is going to be here. Oops, one of these days. Then I think he looks back to here. But he's gonna take that inside hole, and Christian Jones, he's already getting the guard does a terrible job on this block at the second level.
Yeah, I was going to say, the guard, Bobby Turner, I remember this play. Inside releases, center does a good job. Tackles turning out Jared Allen. I don't know what McPhee's doing.
Yeah, same kind of thing. He's not crashing down, he's just setting up inside. But see, on this play, Roll is on the outside, and he's got the outside contain, unlike that other play.
Yeah, yep.
But then here, you can already see Jones is winning inside on the guard, Turner, you said. And at that point, there's not much Lamar Miller can do because Jones is gonna just get right to there, and then and something that you don't quite catch on the first try here is that Shea McClellan here, this is gonna become a little matchup, and he's gonna shed him actually pretty easily. But Jones is already making the play. You see Jones has the play here. He's meeting the running back. There it is. But Shea just gets his hands on the lineman that meets him, and he's around and dives in on the play too.
I mean, that's a good shot of Shea, too.
Skipping ahead here. Into this play. Unfortunately, the replay cuts off the snap, so you miss the initial steps there. So you'll see Jones meets the guard. Turner pushes him out of the way. Shea meets the guard, punches, gets around him to the inside, and then dives right at the running back, even though he's already going down.
Another good job, too, by I think that's Ferguson.
And Pernell McPhee actually makes his way in the middle of that play, too. I wish we got a replay of this one with an end zone cam. That'd be really nice, but
Jenkins also was hustling because he's trying to get doubled here. So you see Jenkins here, 96.
Yeah, splits the double.
He's fighting through. He's losing his balance, and he starts clawing on the ground. See his arm reaching out to try to get to the thing. That's good effort.
And then the tight end kind of gives up on McPhee here, and he kind of just gets to come straight in. Gets grabbed a little bit, but he's already going down.
There was Jeremiah Ratliff on the top doing a good job. There you go. Good flip there by Jones.
Yeah,
because the guard had him in his sights.
Yeah, I mean, that should be an easy block for the guard. I mean, he just squares up with him, and Jones just bats him out of the way and goes inside. So the next play we're going to go to here is the dropped interception from Jared Allen. And what really makes this play and makes it a lot easier on Jared Allen is the way that the offensive lineman, particularly the left tackle, makes no effort to sell this as a pass play. I mean, on a good screen, the left tackle has to take a few steps back and make the defensive lineman, or the outside linebacker in this case with Allen, make him feel as though he's actually winning this block when in reality he's just letting him win before he breaks out in the flat. But the left tackle on this play is pretty much just going to break out into the flat, and the left guard is going to do the same thing, and Jared Allen's going to start to take off, take a few steps, realize that they didn't even try and block him, and then just stop and wait for the ball. And it's a poor decision by Tannehill to throw the screen to the receiver because Jared Allen's right there. I don't think he even sees him at least when he starts to throw it, and at that point it's too late. And then Allen's going to get the ball, hit him in the hands, and then completely drop it.
This play could be disastrous for the Dolphins.
It should be potentially maybe not a pick six, but maybe a 22-year-old Jared Allen makes this a pick six, but not 33. So see, the left tackle takes one step and doesn't even put his hands on Jared Allen and just starts working the flat. So Jared Allen stops. He's like, oh, I know this. Jumps on the pump fake, and that might be what prevents it from being an interception. If he's able to plant his feet right away and jump, but he kind of has to jump and reach because the quarterback got him in the air, he only gets one hand on the ball here.
And looking at it, when it first happened, you can't believe that he dropped it. But when you look at the athleticism that Allen showcases in the pump, as you pointed out, he jumps. So you're absolutely
Jumps.
right. The tackle and the guard didn't sell anything. It looked like a old BYU wide receiver screen, and Allen makes a great effort there. But you want to come home with that football. Obviously, he did too.
Now, one thing that you don't notice at all when you watch the play, really the first time, or I didn't even notice the second time, but it's something that when they're in the film room, Ed Donatel is gonna go, "Hey, Demontre, get up here, show everybody what you did on this play." And and again, if Jared Allen doesn't even get a hand on this ball, I don't think they gain yards on this play because of Demontre Hurst. Running backs in motion out, obviously. Watch again, the left tackle takes one step backwards and breaks out to the flat, so Jared Allen doesn't get fooled. Make that point again. Doesn't even put a hand on him. But watch Demontre Hurst here. He's gonna start to, or this is Demontre Hurst here. He's gonna get this receiver one on one, or actually he ends up taking on an outside linebacker, or not outside. Wow, Demontre Hurst ends up taking on an offensive lineman. I cannot talk, and this receiver goes on to Tim Jennings and takes him outside, so they'll get the outside contained. But then I think it's the left tackle, it might be the left guard. I don't know which one of them comes up to Hurst, and Hurst just blows by him, and he's ready to. I mean, he's squared up and ready to tackle this receiver if this screen ball gets there. So Hurst steps back, and the left tackle here he comes with Hurst. Uh, Here it's just going to be open field play for them to make, and Hurst just uses speed, blows right inside of him, and then he's unblocked. And if the and it's important to know that like Hurst knows this play's over, but the left tackle does not. That left tackle is entirely trying to block Demontre Hurst. He has no idea that it was blown up in the backfield, but Hurst has a completely free line to this wide receiver if he catches it. I'll watch it through one more time here in full speed. Hurst is going to step back. Left tackle's going to come out, and Hurst just blows right by him, and he's ready to make a play. And he actually jumps over I believe it's the center that's on the ground.
Yep.
And then Jared Allen has to hold
I
his
think
head in shame there.
one other thing that you could take, and if you rewind it back, just a simple thing that looks different from last year. Watch Shea McClellan communicating with the defense. First, you see Tim Jennings calling out, then you see Shea when the running back goes in motion. Now he's making a call in coverage and setting who's covering who. He's got the running back, obviously. You can see communication is happening on that play, and that's a good thing.
Let's see. Moving on to closer into the red zone, the Dolphins continue to drive down against this defense, slowly but surely. Uh, let's just jump right away to the touchdown that for Brock Vereen gives up. And this is a difficult spot because Demontre Hurst doesn't do him any favors pre-snap because for and when the spot it gave me to start this play was a little poor because you don't get to see the motion. But so they come out with the slot receiver on the right. He's going to motion across the formation, and Hurst initially follows him and then stops when he gets to the box, then turns to Vereen and points to him, and then Vereen has to react at that point and get to the receiver, and then at that point it's just a good read and a good route that makes it a tough play for Vereen to make. So you'll see here, wide receiver goes in motion. I'll slow it down so it's a little bit clearer. Hurst initially follows and then stops and goes, "Oh, wait a minute." Looks at Shea and then looks back at Vereen and is like, motions him with his arm. "That's you, man." And Vereen's like, "Wait, is it?" And then he just kind of has to because Hurst determined that because Hurst didn't follow him, Vereen's got to go cover him, even if that wasn't necessarily what he was supposed to do on the play. And then the snap looks right for that pick from the wide receiver going inside to take that corner out of the picture. Sees the safeties trailing, easy out route. Vereen does a pretty good job recovering,
This
but it's just not fast enough.
this is where Vereen messes up, and I'll show you. Just go back a little bit.
He does slow down. I think he pauses a step and takes
Yeah,
a little bit of a deep angle.
there must be a defensive call on. If there's motion across the tackle, then the safety has to pick up the motion play because they're still in a zoned coverage on the backside.
Yeah, I think
See how
Jones and Roll are in zone, and everyone else is in man. It's kind of in the middle.
Watch Hurst is in a zone as well. McClellan's in a zone.
I thought Hurst was watching the running back. That was what I took from it. Or Hurst was on the tight end and McClellan was on the running back, but because the tight end stays in the block, and then McClellan comes out on the running back there.
But right there, if you go back a few frames,
I have to go back 10 seconds at a time in Game Pass, which is annoying.
I'll talk you through it here. When it's a good play design, but it should have been batted down. When even though Hurst tells him late, or however the communication should have been, if Hurst should have kept on with it, we'll never know what the defensive call was until whatever. But he does communicate to him. Exactly.
See, to me, what happens here is Hurst takes on the tight end, who was probably Vereen's responsibility with Shea on the running back. Jones is in a zone, in there, and then Rolls in a deeper zone, and then you've got so he's gonna go across. So he's gonna go across here, and then Vereen's obviously got to get there. But I think Vereen thinks Hurst is just going to follow him across and stay in man coverage there, and we'll never know exactly who's at fault here. But because Vereen got benched, I would imagine that the call. I mean, Vereen should have known to be following him.
But let it run and take these lines
Yeah.
out. And I just want everyone to focus on Vereen. Okay? Don't worry about Hurst or anything else. When Vereen's initial inclination is, oh, okay, I got it. Now his eyes are turning onto 14, Landry. So now he's running over there. The ball hasn't been snapped yet. It's snapped now.
He's not sprinting to start.
His focus right here should be on the quarterback with the helmet turned. And he would see the ball coming. His head should be on the ball. The ball's in the air. All you have to do is really move up and put his hand on it. His angle and everything was off. And I'm sure this was on Vereen. He still could have made the play, is the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, I agree.
All he has to do, he has that guy. His angle is horrific. Fuller's playing man-to-man on this guy, pressing him. So he doesn't have to worry about the help over the top. He's got Jones, McClellan, and Roll. Get there. Now watch his angle.
Way instead of going that way.
Exactly.
He goes
over
the top of that guy, and then at that point you're screwed, and you got to look at the quarterback, right?
But look, you just got to get his head around his turn. He's turning his head. If he turns his head, the ball hasn't even left Tannehill's hand yet. So now he could have made a break on that. He could have stole that ball, even if he made a better, more confident decision to attack that receiver. And I remember watching this live saying, oh, if he just attacked up the field with confidence on this guy, this play is over, because it's such a simple play. It's just
So right here, he needs to see that the eyes of the receiver are looking back. So he needs to turn his head, see that ball. Like you said, the ball has not even left yet. So he needs to, instead of going this way, he just needs to go straight this way, grab that ball, and score a touchdown.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's no one right there. Turn to the ball and just get in between the ball and the receiver, and at least get a hand on it. As long as, and you don't pick it off, sure, but you can at least get something on that. But instead, he tackles.
Remember when you talked about earlier Shea McClellan? Am I going to downgrade him for going after the ball? There, Vereen gets downgraded for not being confident enough to go after that. Because what's going to happen anyway? He's scoring a touchdown. Make the chance to make a huge play for your team. You could see he gets up mopey and sad, and
I think we get a little bit of a replay here, but yeah, mopey and sad.
one thing I gotta say about McPhee, he just does not look like he's in game shape.
I agree. He looks. That's why I keep getting him mixed up with Will Sutton because he just looks a little tubby.
Tubby is the exact word I was gonna use.
That's
I haven't had the luxury of going out to camp and seeing him, but this body right here would be running extra sprints after practice. I'll tell you that.
and I have not seen him doing extra sprints. I've seen other players doing extra sprints, particularly the wide receivers, but not him. But yeah, like right here, Vereen. Like I can understand Vereen not like sprinting and going all out at this point just in case the receiver breaks in, but definitely the poor angle.
But
Then,
once that guy turns, see right here, get your head. He's still not. Now he's looking at the ball
yeah,
and late. Once he turns his head,
right there.
turn your head. Be confident.
Vereen's still looking at the receiver.
Yeah, be confident in yourself. The ball's coming. It's whizzing. He could have made a play on that. Trust me.
If he's not wearing long sleeves, does he make a play on that?
I'm telling you, he probably made a play on it without Vereen's white tee. That's going to be my new Twitter handle.
This is your fantasy football team name.
Maybe I make my fantasy team that.
All right, so that should give a pretty good idea of some of the struggles of the first team defense. I mean, obviously, we highlighted some Christian Jones mistakes, some Kyle Fuller mistakes, and some Brock Vereen mistakes, and a number of plays later, a good 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 plays later, the Dolphins are in the end zone. So, I mean, there was definitely a lot of blame to go around, but certainly some good play by that defensive line, and some Shea McClellan looked pretty good, both against the run and decent in coverage. Now, this video is already running on an hour, so we're going to cut it off here. We've got the good look so far at the first team defense and been able to see kind of where they've struggled and where they've succeeded. And then we're going to be putting out a second part to this video where we look at some of the second and third team players and how they did in their performances. So, you know, this has been our first go at the film room. Like we said, it's preseason for us as well as it is for the players. So, you know, there were a few kinks we had to work through. The film quality maybe wasn't quite as high as we'd like it to have in the future, and it'll likely remain that way for the second part of this video. But hopefully, going forward, we'll clean it up and have it a little bit more smoother. Um, like we'll mention at the end of the second video, we're always open to feedback for what you've seen in this video. Let us know on Twitter. You can find me at CockSports1, and then Phil is at FullPhilO. And then, of course, the site is at DaBearsBeat. So, you know, let us know in the comments below or on Twitter if there's anything you'd like to see improved, or even heading into the next game, if there's any plays in the Colts game that you see that you want us to go through, or any players that you particularly want us to analyze in the next video, because we're going to definitely do another one of these for each game and then into the regular season. And once we get some all 22 film, then we'll be able to even dive a little bit further and see more of the whole play and analyze it from there. So I hope you enjoyed this first film breakdown, and be on the lookout for the second part coming soon. We'll have a whole other set of plays from this game breaking through, breaking down, and yeah, so feel free to hit the subscribe button too on YouTube if you like what you see in this video, because there'll definitely be more coming and more just like it, and it'll only get better from here. So thanks for watching.